And then you're going to, Miss Scope just said she volunteered. So of course you can see what's being taught in the classroom, knowing full well they do not allow parents inside the schools. Knowing full well that that is the reality. She tries to gaslight Gail, but Gail and I talk. So Gail knows. We're going to go ahead and we're going to watch the last time parents were actually allowed to speak at the school board meeting. Now that they're all going to be Zoom, they'll no longer be in attendance anymore, as per the usual. Thanks, Mayor. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to address what they have to say, since they like to gaslight Gail. So we just have a mom, and she was an educator in the community. She's a grandma for 40 years, and they just gaslight her. And then we have another mom speaking, and we just ignore them. So we're going to go ahead and address that. Let's go.
Hi, I'm here. I started a website. It's www.moms.againstmandatorymasking.com. You all think I started it because I'm cold-hearted and mean. No, I started it in order to prevent what has happened this last week. Max wasn't able to attend school on Friday, wasn't even able to step into school today, and it's just not allowed to go. He also has been denied access to his public education. He gets nothing, not even virtual schooling as an option because he's healthy. He's a healthy, happy, adorable little boy that wants to go to school, that learned to speak. He didn't even talk till he was 5 years old because he's autistic. He went to your special needs pre-K last year downtown, and he learned how to talk. He learned how to go to the bathroom on his own. He was so terrified to do it, and he did it because of your teachers and your paraprofessionals. That now that after you promised me, and I cried in the office many times, like, oh my God, someone's gonna help me. Someone's gonna help me help him. And they said, yes, ma'am, we're gonna be there for you. And Dr. Lewis said, no, we're not. Because when I asked, okay, what are the educational options being made for the kids that aren't allowed to go to school if their parents don't want to put a mask on? My kid just learned to speak 6 months ago, and has reverted twice in his life. We've lost years. So I'm not putting a mask on my autistic child that just learned to speak. And guess what? He didn't wear a mask all last year. In your school district with mandatory masking, he did not wear a mask, nor did his 70-year-old something teacher, and nor did his paraprofessional. Because if they have special needs and special needs for kids, they don't have to. But apparently, if we're healthy anywhere else, I don't know, we're spreading something. I don't even know anymore because you guys haven't bothered to take the opportunity to educate the public. What are the numbers? How many kids do we have registered? Actually, what's our graduation rate? If you look up demographics right on the Muscogee County homeschool page, nothing's been updated since 2017. So maybe instead of making medical decisions for my kid and ensuring my kid didn't even have a virtual option this year to not attend. Catherine didn't get to go to school today either. She's 9 years old in 4th grade, so excited to go to her zone school finally. We weren't even go. I volunteered half days at St. Mary's because we couldn't go there the first year we moved here. We couldn't go to Dawson. Okay, I'll volunteer my time. Then they go to DEMA, and I'm not even allowed in the class. I didn't get to meet the teacher. I never saw inside any of those classrooms. Not once was I allowed in. I volunteered every single day here in Muscogee County. I know your teachers at Double Churches, at Eagle Ridge, at Hannon. And this is insane. I've been so involved in this community every single time we moved here. And when I email you and I say, doctor, where are my kids going Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Where are they going to school? Where are they going on the first day of school? Please refer to my last email. Your email said they will go to school and comply to our mask mandates, or they won't be allowed in. Or homeschool them. I'm not rich. I can't put them in the private schools like all you can afford. I don't have those resources. So I have to rely on the Muscogee County School District, and still, you don't let my kid go in. You don't let the happy, healthy, normal kid go in, and you don't let the happy, healthy, other normal kid go in. You have made sure that nobody had an option. Forced masking or no education. That's disgusting. You don't know what you've done to my family. I've emailed you, I've called you, you've ignored me, you've gaslit me, and you've done it all on purpose. You pushed me around, I've called everybody. No one's coming to save my kids but me. So I'm made to be the bad person. I'm called the Karen in town. I live on the south side where they all hate me because they've all been told we got the mask outside. Even the community is in Stockholm Syndrome, and not anyone on the medical board or within the school board where we educate people is willing to stand up and say, hey, let's really look at the numbers, come up here because honestly, they don't have the ability to be attacked 24/7 like me. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you, girl. I've seen all you talked about me. You make sure to keep my kids out of the school as well. We see everything you guys say on these school board meetings. You can keep them 4 hours long and you can make sure there's no comments on them. You can keep comments turned off on Facebook and all of it, but we're still gonna talk. And now you're stuck with me because I'm not rich like you guys. I don't have money for private schools. So just like I'm stuck with you, you're stuck with me. And I'm staying. I'm staying enrolled. I'm not homeschooling because I can't. I already homeschool my 2 teenagers because of your failing. Look at your graduation rate. Because you guys get to, but I don't.
Fact. That's a fact. I just showed you. I just showed you. So, there we go. There we have it. That's what I'm talking about. They act like, oh, we post our numbers. We post our numbers. I took a screenshot. I suck. I don't have it as proof. I really should have had it prepared. But their numbers weren't even updated since March of last year, COVID numbers, where they updated weekly and told us how many kids had COVID, how many in-person students were quarantined, blah, blah, blah. Where they show you that right on the beginning of the website. Here, hold on. Let's get rid of this. So this right here had not been updated since March. April, May, last year, they didn't put numbers up. So then, of course, they started at the beginning of the year, and here we are. And this is how many kids are enrolled. So that's supposed to be not how many kids are registered. Like, my kids are registered, but they're not enrolled because they didn't sit their butts on a chair the first day of school because they won't allow my kids in school. They won't allow my kids there. So they unenrolled my children. I don't know how many others, and it just is what it is. So 30,000 kids enrolled. Can we see the breakdown? No, silly gooses. Okay, so positive coronavirus cases. Okay, not even a percentage. Stop it. Stop it. Even the Gross Ledger Inquirer has an article today that tells you all. It's not the kids in the schools that are giving it. It's not them that's spreading it. It's out in the community, but we're just going to keep the kids masked in school. And then they go on to talk about, but in Atlanta, it is the schools. Oh, give me a break. You guys are so nasty. You're so nasty. Let's watch Mitch Gale, and then we'll watch the other mom. They both spoke on it. But the way they treat Gale is absolutely insane.
You know pain?
This is crazy. So I leave. I'm disgusted. I'm done. I'm not fighting for anyone else's kids anymore. Nobody comes. Nobody stands beside me. Nobody stands behind me. It's just me who doesn't want my kids masked in school. So, all right, fine. It's just me all by myself. So me, my husband, my children, we all leave.
I'm in pain, and my question is, when a child comes into this classroom in the mornings, when do they change their masks during the day? Do they change their masks during the day?
They don't.
Do they sneeze and run their little runny noses in this?
Yep.
And do they breathe in and out
Yep.
germs
Yep.
all day long?
Yep.
Yes, they do.
Yep.
I think Muscogee has enough money for these kids that if mamas and daddies sends their child to school, they should, with a mask, they could at least provide the mask.
There's my husband. He just walked back in because I'm outside. But we didn't want to miss what Miss Gale has to say. She's a grandma in the community. She was an educator within the community for 30, 40 years. I don't even remember what the number was. And she's come to multiple school board meetings speaking out against critical race theory. We don't want that in. But how would we even know if any teacher here was teaching that to our children? We wouldn't know because you're not allowed inside the schools. But watch. Miss Green will try to gaslight her. She doesn't realize that Gal and I have talked quite a bit.
Changed every 2 hours because there was a lady on a website, and I can give that to you later.
They don't care.
She took them, she collected all these masks, and she found out that there was streptococcus, pneumonia. There was so many I can't even name, but these were in them.
Can we also just look at the security officer? No, I mean, I'm not knocking him or anything. I would wear a gaiter if I had that job too, but it literally says on the CDC flyer, like gaiter, no. The CDC flyer that the doctors on the medical panel send you. Like, no. Look at how Miss Gale's wearing hers. Like, we all know that's not doing anything. Everybody wears it under their stinking nose. Half the school board people weren't even freaking wearing theirs. It's so ignorant.
Mask, and these kids were breathing them in and out. So if our children have to wear the mask, then why not you guys, or the school, I'm sorry, the school, have to change them, make them change every 2 hours, and then they'll provide them masks to put on, clean masks. You know, when kids go out and play, do they still think that they don't get to go out and play or do things, activities? Okay, when they go out and play, they get hot and sweaty, and they breathing in and out all of these germs. And it's not right for them to have to wear these masks all day. It's not healthy.
We have kids walking home in 90-degree weather wearing masks the entire way home. The fact that this community is okay with children walking by themselves with masks on, I mean, screw you guys. I don't care. You want to abuse your kids? You want to get rid of them so bad? You're okay with senselessly putting a mask on them and sending them off to F-rated schools? That's totally on you. Go ahead.
It is not healthy. Okay, my next one is, I know that CRT is not going to be taught in our schools.
How would we know?
And I appreciate that so much. But how do we know that there's not a literal teacher in the classroom that is not going to impress her thoughts on these impressionable children? The teachers, just like my teachers, had me all day long. I learned how to say thank you and no thank you and be polite because my mom was a single mom and she didn't have time to teach me all these things that I needed to know. So where is that possible? How can you tell if a teacher's doing this? That's all I'd like to know is how can you be sure that a teacher is not putting her impression on a child or any of our children? We don't have a way of knowing because I understand that there's no volunteers anymore. Parents, is that true?
Yep.
The parents aren't allowed to come to school anymore and volunteer. Is that true or not true? Anyone know?
Mrs. Oak just said she volunteers.
Okay, but she's not allowed. She's not allowed to come in.
Not during the pandemic, yeah.
Oh, so that means 2020 and 2021 parents aren't allowed in. But she said, Miss Skoke just said she volunteered. Yeah, every single year before coronavirus, up until the day we sent them home, I volunteered. But screw me, because I don't think like them, right? And then you're going to, Miss Skoke just said she volunteered. So, of course, you can see what's being taught in the classroom, knowing full well they do not allow parents inside the schools. Knowing full well that that is the reality. She tries to gaslight Gail, but Gail and I talk. So Gail knows I haven't been allowed in the school. I wasn't even allowed to see in my child's classroom last year. I wasn't even allowed to meet my children's teachers last year. So we're sending our children off to people that we don't even know. We can't meet. We can't see inside the class. We can't go inside the class. You're all fine with that. Then, okay, just hand your kids off to people. You have no clue what's being taught. They're masked the whole time. Yo, whatever this does to their psyche is going to be a you problem. Look at our graduation rates right now. Oh, wait. Oh, again, we can't. Only they can. That's right. Look at our gang violence and our young children. I don't even. This is disgusting. And the fact that you all are okay with it is even more disgusting. So I'll continue to watch these meetings whenever I have time, and I'll continue to post videos about them. But I'm not fighting for any of you. I'm not fighting for your kids. I don't care about anybody but my kids. Nobody cares about anything but their own. And you're all happy to continuously mask 30,000 children, knowing children aren't the spreaders, knowing masks don't work. You know what? Let's go to the CDC website while we're here. Let's just let Gail finish.
Okay, all right. Then I guess I'm through. But I know I saw a movie one time and it had a parent's man and it was Field of Dreams. And this man had wrote a book in the 60s. And he was so appalled at what he wrote after he became an adult because he was like in his 20s. And he was hiding because he was so ashamed he wouldn't even go outside anymore. I don't want this to come back and haunt the teachers because they've done something to our children and they can take it back because it's like two things. Once you get it out, you can't put it back in. I don't want these kids are our future. And I pray to God that they're being taught a Christian way. And I know that it's probably not properly, not right when you say Christian way, but I hope and pray that they're being taught manners and respect and to love each other. I thank you for the time.
But not if your parents voted for Trump.
Thank you,
And
Ms. Payne.
I do want to clarify, we do not have the mask mandate outdoors. That was lifted back in May, and that has not been.
except kids were still being required to wear their masks out on the playgrounds. We know this for sure because we have actual moms whose children were still wearing masks outside. We know this for sure because when I let the Ledger Inquirer ride around with me and pick up my children with me, all the children were still forced to wear masks outside during their entire last day celebration of school. So he can pretend like that's the case, but it clearly wasn't pushed down to the schools. He may have changed it. He just doesn't let anybody know.
And advised by the medical panel or any other advisory group, so we do not have masks.
Except we don't know what the medical panel says. They won't let us know what the medical panel says. The medical panel says they just defer to the CDC. So what's the point in a medical panel?
And also,
Where are the children's
regarding
psychologists?
history has always been taught in school. I think the acronym
Yeah.
CRT or critical.
Oh, so she's going to say critical race theory is just teaching history. So what college did you go to? Because we all know when we go to Ivy League colleges and we get our master's degree, we all learn some sort of CRT. We all read the books. But teaching kids in elementary school that Black people have it harder because white people continue to oppress them. The system is set up for them to fail, and they will not succeed because of the color of their skin. And it's the white kids' fault because they're white. That's what it boils down to. Disgusting.
Race theory is being weaponized.
It's funny
And
how
I'm
they're
thinking
not
that's
supposed to
back into the
respond
brain
back, but they go ahead and they take the time to do it, but you can't respond back to them.
Instruction,
That's what they always do.
cultural instructions, and all of our teachers are trained and expected to
Yeah,
deliver
trained by leftist
the
colleges.
instruction
Okay, let's be
according
real,
to
Miss Green.
the way it's prescribed by
I don't
their
care.
Department of
You guys won't
Education.
let my kids in school, so I'll say whatever the hell I have to say. That this is ignorant. This is just a bunch of BS that you spew.
And I imagine that public education, like any other industry or any other field, the individual.
I honestly can't with her. I do not care.
I'm going to side this off because I can't talk. And I promise, good evening, first of all.
Good evening.
I'm not going to get into my background, but it's in education and behavioral health. I've been blessed to stay at home with my children. Last year, my son attended Dover Church Elementary, which is where he is this year. And we are thrilled. He has done nothing but thrive since we have been here. My husband served 27 years active duty for this country. And I am standing here now because of the freedoms that my husband fought for and the millions of others. What are we doing?
Yeah.
I ask every one of you,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Yep.
The scientific evidence does not point to putting a mask on healthy children. The psychological effects that these will have, the effects that my son is high academic. He was home virtual last year. I made that decision because I didn't want him in the mask. Because there are studies after studies after studies, 3 specifically, that were funded by the NIH, that they refused to recognize and look at.
Which, by the way, one of the doctors on the medical panel even cited the 3 studies, saying she does not believe the children should be masked. Medical panel. Terry Jordan, ACE Care Emergence, PA. Right here. You can go on WTBM and you can see her speak in regards to the mandatory masking policy and the fact that masks have been proven, multiple studies, and the CDC just published another one to their website yesterday, so go look it up. It's very easy to find. Masks do not do anything except for make your kids more sick, make it easier to steal them, and make it easier for people to commit crime. That they do. And help the school board hide, because I'd hide if I was them too. Scumbags. No, I wouldn't. I'd actually do my damn job. Whoops. Sorry.
That now, the information coming out of our CDC is counterfactual. I am not saying remove the option. I would be standing here talking to you today if you had banned them all together. Because I believe in the right of the parent to choose what is best for their children. I had no intention of coming here today, none. I have been nothing but thrilled. I'm a daughter of a long line of educators. And my grandfather was huge on Robert's Rules of Orders. Stand up, speak up, shut up, sit down. But I ask you, as a mama, to please look at the evidence yourself. I understand you have wonderful medical professionals. I get it. I trust medical professionals. I'm 45 years old, but in 45 years, I have never seen this country respond in the manner that it has. And it is headed in a very dangerous place. I don't even want to think about what these very children are going to have to face in the future. My daughter got out of the car, 4 years old. I elected to put her in your school system in pre-K. And she's getting out of the car this morning for her 2nd day, and I've already heard the word, but Mommy, I can't breathe with it on. She is healthy.
Don't put it on.
She is happy.
Don't put it
Not
on.
every child
Tell your
is
teenagers
as
to take
fortunate
them off.
as my children are. They come to school to see those faces.
This won't stop until you all make it stop.
They learn social cues with facial expression. I don't know what it's going. We will not eradicate this virus. And anyone who has any common sense understands that. We all understand that. It is going to be around. We have to learn to live with it, but we can't damage our kids in the process.
They did nothing. They did nothing for her.
I beg you to please. This is the number. This is the reason we're putting face masks on our children. 73 million children in this country.
They don't care.
73
It's not
million.
about the kids.
335 have died.
When are you all going to realize it's not about the kids? It's never been about the kids. None of this is about the kids at all. None of this at all. You're teaching the kids that they are dangerous. Stay away. They could kill people. Stay covered. Seen and not heard. Ooh.
We don't know the comorbidities that existed. This is no reason whatsoever to be putting masks on our children. They are grimy, they're dirty, they're filthy, they're nasty. They just are. But you have to think about the psychological.
I mean, the psychological is what I think of most. That's why I won't do it. But you guys, don't worry. Your kids are fine. So what masks do we see on our children? Oh, definitely the freaking mask with the air out one. Yeah, we see those a lot, huh, y'all? And then don't use those N95s. They're the only ones that actually work, but don't use them because the medical people need them. So yes, use cloth masks, even though we know they don't work. And that's it. Okay, guys? And so let's see. Let's scroll down. Oh, you can wear face shields? No, not gaiters either, you silly go. Oh, wait, now they say you can wear gaiters. It's all good. They updated it. Gaiters are fine. Face shield, no. Oh my God. Do not put children younger than 2 in a mask. Except they do that now, by the way. Except everybody wears them like that and then puts them back on. Cover your nose. Yeah, right. None of you do that. None of you do that. How to take a mask off. Oh my God. I'm going to shoot myself. I have to live with all of you. I have to live with all of you. I have to exist with all of you. It's disgusting. You're disgusting.
My child couldn't even smile. I couldn't even see the smile on her face. The first day of school.
They don't care.
And as she's getting out of the car, they're too busy squirting sanitizer on her hands. Instead of saying, "Good morning. I'm happy to see you.
Nope.
I'm ready to learn."
Nope. Disease.
What
kids.
are we doing?
Your time is up.
Yep. All they care about is their
Really
time.
appreciate you coming. Thank you to all of the speakers who wanted to come, and I'm sure will continue to reach out to us. We appreciate your input, and we take this time at all of our public meetings to hear from the public.
She does not look at. We appreciate your input, and we take this time to the public. Thank God they're gone. Thank God the parents of the children that we're here to propel forward in life. Thank God those terrible parents that care about their children and their mental well-being. Thank God they're gone, but they'll be back. Those parents just keep coming back. I wish they would just not care and just let us control their children. Oh, that's what 30,000 kids are for. Not my kids. But I'm still here, and I'm still registered in your school, and you're still not providing services, but it's okay.
Homeowners, our bus drivers. We're down 50 bus drivers, not unlike school districts our size all over the country. They're looking for bus drivers who, many of those bus drivers are of an age that they're.
You guys pay extra taxes for buses, by the way. Columbus, Georgia, Muscogee County voted to pay for transportation. They got $25 million last year, extra money for special needs buses, for all new buses and everything. They can't staff our schools. They can't staff our hospitals. They can't staff our bus garage. They can't staff it. That's the problem. That's the only problem. It's not coronavirus. It's staffing and people using coronavirus as an excuse, which I don't blame them for using it as an excuse because the school uses it as an excuse. The Social Security Administration uses it as an excuse. The mayor uses it as an excuse. Everyone uses it as an excuse to just not do their job. PlayStation. Call PlayStation. Nope, due to coronavirus, we blah, 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 blah.
Susceptible and leery about getting on a bus, and I certainly understand and appreciate that.
Leery about getting
it's a
on
hard
a
enough job.
bus?
Yeah,
Stop. People are so used to making a ton of money sitting on their butts at home doing nothing because we think we can just deplete the economy. Like, let's go ahead and give stuff to a bunch of people not giving anything in. So we're just taking, but nobody's actually working. Nobody's actually doing anything. Nobody's actually putting anything into the system, but give, right? Cool. That's fine with me. I hope these parents that are still in this school say, you have to give me this and this and this and this. I don't care. Don't care. You guys are disgusting. You have F-rated schools. The kids' grades go down every single year. You don't even publish your graduation rates, let alone the grades these kids get.
Here. But the one thing we've got to do is remember, if we want to keep schools open, that is one of my primary things, is trying
I
not
don't
to
care
get
about
it
keeping
back
schools
in
open.
class, to try and keep them there.
I don't care. My kids aren't even
And
allowed in
all we
open
need
schools.
is to have an outbreak, a late outbreak in the school, and I have to make decisions along with our medical folks and with our risk manager,
You mean the CDC?
Tracy Fox, who has just been amazing throughout this whole experience, all folks in our
Tracy Fox is risk management. That's her job. So she is there to protect him, all of them. not our children. It is not about our kids. None of this is about our kids at all. It's about people who are too lazy to work because they get more money working part-time and sitting at home. And those are the facts. I wouldn't want to work for any of you either. You got to wear a mask all day. I'm not working anywhere with a mask all day.
How the school is responsible for tracking and monitoring this. And it's important for people to recognize that if we have a linked outbreak, it might mean closing a wing, a class, or an entire school.
Dawn.
Or possibly multiple schools, depending on interactions of families and
Yeah,
so on.
look at Florida's just
So
closing down all its
while
schools.
the
Texas just
individual
closing
is
down all its
important,
schools.
and certainly always, I understand there is concern about their child either because they want the mask or don't want the mask. I understand that. I don't have the luxury of trying to pick and choose which one this affects individually. I have to look at the whole picture and operationalizing our system on a daily basis. And I have a friend who's a principal, and he opened up on Wednesday and closed out on Thursday. Big high school, and all because he had 128 students test positive. None of them really super sick, but it doesn't matter how sick they are. They were exposed and they came in contact with others. It ended up causing, and with 8 staff members, ended up causing, that's not our choice. When they're identified, we have to invoke those protocols that require us to quarantine staff members, students, and the like. So I just want to make sure.
Okay, I just want to make
Everyone understands
sure,
this
whatever, I don't care. This video is almost 40 minutes and he's annoying. So I'll leave you all with this.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
Biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look, as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
If you think we're rallying now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
This puppet show stays on because of you fools.